Today we're speaking with Rochelle Shoretz, founder and executive director of Sharsheret. Sharsheret is a nonprofit organization for cancer survivors dedicated to addressing the unique challenges facing young Jewish women and their families facing breast cancer. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Would you give us some background on Sharsheret, why you started it, and what your current initiatives are?
Sure. I was diagnosed with breast cancer for the first time at the age of 28 and couldn't really believe that I was the only person I knew who was in their 20s facing breast cancer, and tried to find other young women, particularly Jewish women, who could relate to some of the issues that I was facing as a young breast cancer survivor. I was surprised at the lack of resources for young women, and I was really surprised at the lack of a Jewish response to breast cancer, given how many Jewish women there are facing breast cancer in the United States and worldwide. So I started Sharsheret not as an organization, but really as a network to connect younger Jewish women facing breast cancer all across the country. And what we found right from the start was that other cancer organizations were actually really interested in culturally sensitive support for their Jewish patients. We began training series all across the country, and in 10 years, Sharsheret has grown to include 10 national programs that serve tens of thousands of Jewish families across the country.
And you've just also been appointed to a federal advisory committee on breast cancer in young women. What do you hope to accomplish with this national platform?
Well, this is our first foray into national affairs. We're very, very honored to be a part of the National Federal Advisory Commission. I think that we can really offer a culturally sensitive slant to breast cancer awareness, some of the cultural barriers that face communities in discussing breast cancer, communities that fear that breast cancer is a taboo topic that might hinder the ability of younger people to marry, to have children. And so we hope to offer that perspective to the conversation. At the same time, personally, as a young woman now living with stage 4 breast cancer, I hope to be able to offer the perspective of women living with metastatic illness and the perspective of those of us who consider breast cancer a chronic illness.
Would you explain the need for advocates in cancer research? What can advocates do to continue the advancement towards cures?
Well, I think patient advocates play a significant role in cancer research. I mean, we are the women who will be experiencing the drugs, who will be those participating in the clinical trials, and hopefully those that will benefit from the results of years and years of research. I see in these hallways the benefits of connecting patient advocates with researchers and clinicians. The notion that there is a face to your work, I think, is really important in a lot of the work that some of the researchers are doing. You spend years and years in a lab, sometimes working with mice, not always working with people. And to make that connection and to see the lives that are actually benefited from your work, I know can really be rewarding. From a patient's perspective, it's really helpful for us to see those who are hard at work on finding a cure and enhancing treatments for those living with breast cancer. Sometimes it can really give you a sense of hope to know that there are thousands and thousands of professionals working on breast cancer, that it's not just you and your oncologist or your oncology nurse, but you as part of a larger group working towards a cure.
What advice can you offer patients to ensure that they get the best care?
Ask questions. I think too many times patients, particularly those who are newly diagnosed, are afraid to ask questions because they worry that it's in some way offensive. And this can be a cultural issue as well. Communities that fear that speaking up is considered a lack of respect. And I find that as patients grow more comfortable asking questions, the more they feel comforted and reassured that their treatment is in the right hands, the more they feel in control of what can seem like a very chaotic journey. So I guess my biggest recommendation would really be to ask the questions, to go for the second opinions, and to not worry about offending, that we really are in a community of people who are endeavoring to work towards a cure, work towards better treatment together.
Rochelle, thank you so much.
Thank you.